Thanks for staying with us. So according to a report we read in The Punch by reporter Tunde Ajaja, he was examining the rate at which children of top politicians and elites are dominating the political space. He coined it political dynasties, both for appointive and elective positions, and what it portends for the system. According to him, in the political enterprise, every election season seems to come with intriguing developments, and the 2023 general elections will likely not be an exception. According to him, one striking trend that emerged boldly in the ongoing electioneering is the number of politicians' children seeking elective offices. The number is simply unprecedented. According to the country, politicians will seem to be paving the way for their children, perhaps to perpetuate their families' access to power or preserve the perks accruing to the family from there. Now, we've seen a story where El Rufai's son, Ibori's daughter, and 3 other ex-governors' children named Reps Committee chairpersons. The House of Reps have appointed at least 5 former state governors' children serving in the lower chamber as heads of major standing. We've seen Governor Adeleke appoint his brother's wife. Also, we saw Mba also nominated Atiku, daughter of the ex-governor of the state, Sullivan Chime. Quite a number of them. I mean, we can go on and on. What are your thoughts on this political dynasty? Some would say it closes the door to new, fresh ideas. Others would say it gives a good succession plan because the fathers are likely to be able to properly mentor and coach their wards and able to ensure that they are able to continue the legacy they probably have started, or maybe they'll better understand the vision of the party, of the political space. Either way, what are your own thoughts? You can call us on the numbers on the screen, 081-076-41679, 0902-4163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourView TVC so we can read your tweet. All right, let me come to you on your thoughts on this. So as I said, some will argue that if we keep bringing fresh faces, fresh ideas, it's like we're starting over again because the political system sometimes might be quite cumbersome. But others will say because you have family members who are somewhat in the system, it might be easier. I mean, what are your thoughts on these issues of having political dynasties going forward?
So political dynasties are, realities of our world. And, but I think we need to also be careful to separate it from nepotism, especially of people, family members that do not have the qualifications to assume any political appointment or office. So if a child of a governor or a president is elected, that means he goes through the process where Nigerians will come out and vote for that person. That means he has won that seat or that office in his own right as a politician. It may, the influence of his name or his family, his blood or whatever would play a part, especially in how he is able to appeal to people. If he comes from a family that have like good precedents, he's able to draw from that and say, I come from this stock, and so you know that because I'm from this sort of family, this is our legacy, So that is how you draw from it, but it has to be an office that Nigerians will vote for or choose themselves. I'm uncomfortable with the one where a leader or a politician or a governor, let's say, is appointing family members as, appointees. That one makes me uncomfortable because this one may not necessarily have to do with their qualifications or what they can bring to the table, but solely based on the relationships that they have. But in cases like that, those people too need to be vetted properly. We hope that the States of Assembly or the National Assembly, if it's at the federal level, they're able to go through the vetting process, and it shows that they have qualifications. So you're able to show that in spite of, or even though I am part of this family, I am well qualified to hold this office. And if you put me alongside 2 or 3 other competitors, I am better than the others, and I'm not choosing only based on, being a family member. So that's my thoughts about it.
What are your thoughts on this topic?
How would love it if that plays out? How would love it if we can separate nepotism from political opportunities coming to people who have their parents have served Nigeria. Nigeria is not Oyedile for anybody. Nigeria is not some people's properties. And we have families who have who have taken Nigeria as their own, that from their grandfather to them, to their father and them, and then their children. It's like everybody knows whatever happens, we have a place in power. And the reason is, it's not because it is entirely wrong. Actually, it is not even wrong to have your children live after your legacy. Yeah. If your legacy is good, based on where we are in Nigeria, majority of our politicians have not done us well. How do you rate somebody that has done us well? It's like things have gotten better for the citizens. If things have not gotten better for us as citizens, then we would blame the previous politicians. And when I say blaming previous politicians, is that I am saying that you're responsible for the challenges we are facing in this country. If you were there and you didn't make it better, why would I trust your children will make things better? Because your children are taking off from you. So I don't want you and your children and your grandchildren in power, because we've already seen what you did to us as a nation. Some politicians have cases against them. Some politicians have been confirmed guilty of corruption, and then we have their children in power. Like, don't you have shame? What exactly are you perpetrating? Like, what's the history? If you look at the American political dynasty, you will see, oh, the Roosevelt, the Kennedys, the Cuomo, what's the other guy? The Bush. But the Bushes, you would see that all of them, they have track record. Even though, of course, they're not perfect, they have their challenges, but they can always show that this is what we did. People actually vote for them because of who and what their father did. Not for them personally, but for the entire community. What we see in Nigeria is a case of, I have served you. And I have served this country, so you must find a position for my child. And I know that all children are not, all fingers are not created equally, all men are not created equally, but as long as you don't give equal opportunity, I get into the National Assembly and somebody else gets a position in the Assembly based on who they are. Okay,
Tope, are we looking at this through our own lens? Because if we look at the foreign political spaces, it's easy to assume that it's because, oh, their father did well and they ran for office and people love them. It's possible that it's also connection. There's nepotism. They're also blamed for nepotism. We had it in the Kennedys, also with the Bushes.
Trump.
Even Clinton brought his wife in.
Trump was in Nigeria, and let's just leave it.
So the point is, we shouldn't just assume that because it is Nigerian, it's because, oh, you're paying me back. What if the child, actually after seeing his father run, says, you know what, I'm actually interested in governance. I want to get into politics.
Yeah.
And because of his father's connection, obviously, he runs for office. So you'll be able to help us categorize it. There are those who run.
Yes.
There are those who are appointed. Now, on what basis are you appointed? Is it just because you are somebody's son or because you actually qualify? If they do qualify, we say, oh, is it because you are Mr. Lagbaja's son? I'm not going to put you, so I don't think it's nepotism. Or if you do qualify, I can still give you the opportunity.
Yeah. And you know, you made a point where you're saying that these people, I know there's a Yoruba phrase you tried to explain earlier, which is you're holding us down for the... But doesn't that put the blame on the electorate? If you think that the predecessors were so bad, why are you voting for their children?
It's too much infrastructure.
You went out, you voted, you saw the different people on the list, and you decided to vote for this person. In the dynasties in America, let's say, for example, some of them may not be able to come out and run under the Republican Party or Democratic Party because their names and families is under, you know, something like that. But if the people, in the end, you will blame the people. They say we should blame people for we get the government that we deserve. So if you think that this person, we know that your father has been arrested, he was confirmed corrupt person or a criminal, and the child has just come out and all of you rallied around him, not only voting, you campaigned, carried his placard and their placard up and down, and then you are now here blaming who exactly are we blaming here?
Thank you very much, because you see, I've always had this view in mind that the electorate, I always believe that we're just not mature enough to understand the issues where we are. Because it happened with this fine boy, this actor, down Banky W. I mean, if you had an educated electorate, you go to the polls, you not just say because everybody is doing LUP, you just go and vote LUP that you have no clue about. We saw it because, so how educated, how informed is the electorate to make choice? How mature is the electorate to actually make the right decisions? You keep saying, oh, let the people, which people are we talking about exactly? Is it the people that made this boy lose his well-campaigned election?
Yeah.
You know, that we all thought that this Banky W will get on the platform. And this is a boy that deserved a young man, sorry, I keep calling him. This is a man that deserved that. But unfortunately, You know, so the point is, how educated are we? Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take this further. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.